Hello, everybody. How are we on this lovely Monday? Uh-oh, I can hear myself. Why can I hear myself? Hold on. We're trying to figure it out. I got it. Excellent. Fire. Okay. I had Twitch still on when we were watching our episode because I was in the chat, I was listening and I was chatting. So I still had it on and it's like on a slight delay too. So I was like, But no, we're good. It is off. We're good. We're functioning. How are we on this beautiful, lovely Monday? How was your weekend? If you joined us for episode 2 on Saturday, thank you. It was a lot of fun. I can't believe that the second episode is already out. 2 weeks from now, the third episode will be out, and that'll be our final one. I'm very excited. We got a couple more things to do for our season 2 campaign, so we'll have to work on those at some point. We gotta discover what the circle's gonna be called. We have to determine a bit more about like plot and specifics of the universe, because I'm making a lore document for all of the players so that they know what's happening, since it's gonna be very isolated and there's not gonna be a lot of NPCs, right? They sort of need as much info as possible before they jump into the campaign. So I want to make sure we have enough down, and I've got this very extensive, like, professional DM looking lore document. And then I can give that to them and they'll be ready to go. So that's exciting. We just had our call today, so we discussed all the sorts of little nitty-gritty details. And that's kind of where we're at the moment. I had a pretty good weekend. Saturday was good because we did the episode premiere, which was cool to see everybody watching and enjoying it. Sharing it around and things like that. I need to turn the autofocus off of this camera. Oh my god. The autofocus on this camera hates me. I swear to god. I don't know if it's because I wear black against a black background, and maybe that's why it can't find me, or what's happening. But, like, it does not like me. Hey, Theta! Hello! Is it a beefy doc? Oh, it is. Oh, it's a beefy document. Like, really thick. It's already pretty thick. So we're gonna make it even thicker, basically, is the plan. I'm gonna turn myself up, because I had these headphones turned down, and I'm a little narcissist who likes to hear myself. Okay. Yeah, it's beefy. So, y'all have created quite a bit. Let me see what I've got here. I think it's in this document. Yeah, so I've got to make a separate one that doesn't include all the other things that we were talking about. But, like, y'all created a bunch of, at least a couple of ocean creatures, and y'all worked on the Lightkeeper. So it's interesting because y'all created, like, the plot this time, or not necessarily the plot, but kind of the villain. So there's a basic plot. Season 2 is going to kind of run like a video game. At least for my players, it's going to feel a little more like a video game. I don't know if it'll feel like a video game to the audience. I'm slightly kind of very subtly hoping it will, because my inspiration for all of it, since you guys picked Ocean and stuff, is all video games. So it's Man of Medan, it's Still Wakes the Deep, Alien Isolation, like all of my inspiration for building this and the plot and stuff and the way it's going to be played is video game inspired. Or at least all that comes from video games. So, because what we realized when I was talking with a couple of the players today, what they realized when I was telling them the plot, right, which we've discussed a little bit on here, they are sent down to the bottom of the ocean to this lighthouse. Their only contact topside is the Lightkeeper Anjing that y'all made. They don't know it, so they didn't hear this part, but she's actually the bad guy. But they've been stuck down there for 5 years, and now, after 5 years of being stuck down there, the lighthouse is beginning to crack and to break. And if the lighthouse breaks, then because it's a lock or like a gate from the phenomena world to the human world. If that lighthouse breaks, they are essentially at the center of a nuclear bomb of phenomena that will explode into the universe directly where they're at. So that is the plot. The plot is basically you have so many episodes to figure out how to escape before the lighthouse inevitably explodes on the last episode. So, and that's what I told them. So it's kind of very like Telltale Until Dawn video game style vibes, where even though if you were playing the video game, right, you're making choices, you're clicking buttons, you're kind of just watching characters try to survive the night. In Until Dawn, they're trying to survive until morning and they can get off the island, right? In a lot of the dark anthologies, they're trying to survive or to escape, whether they're stuck down in the caverns or on a ghost ship or stuck right like at the camp, whatever it is, and they don't have lights or whatever. They're trying to get through the night because it's a werewolf night, you know? So they're trying to last and they're trying to escape. And that is kind of the plot for season 2. And I think it's going to be interesting because that's not really how Candela's played. Candela has played much more similar to our season 1, where you have assignments, you go on investigations, maybe you fight a phenomena here or there, you talk to one, right? It's not really this style of a game. This is more video game. So it's going to be interesting because we're kind of going that route of like the purpose and the way that this is happening, and what the audience knows is it's a survival horror. It's can you escape? Like it's an escape room horror. It's a survival horror. And I'm kind of intrigued about it. I'm really liking that aspect of season 2. And I think it's going to be interesting to see as a show because it kind of represents the different types of games and experiences you can have with TTRPGs, because you wouldn't think to have this kind of an experience in a horror game, right? Like whether you're playing Dead by Daylight or Vampire the Masquerade or Candela Obscura, you would not think that this is the type of plot and experience that you're gonna go through. You think Monster of the Week, or you think dramatics or whatever, not survival, not escape. You know what I mean? So, and it's not even like murder mystery, right? You're not trying to solve anything. It's escape. And so I think that's going to be fun to play with. And the thing that they realized when I was talking to a few of them today, because they're isolated down in the ocean, there are no NPCs. There are no NPCs for them to talk to. The only one there is Angie, which is the person on their little like radio communication. But they never see her or meet her, right? So they don't have the ability to, let's go to the bar and ask some guy. Let's go see what such and such is doing. Well, they don't get that. There is none of that. The entire show is them like either having experiences with each other, which is kind of what I'm pushing for. I want more of that this season. Or with themselves, and like living in and breathing in these moments of isolation. And that's one of the big themes. One of the games I gave them for like inspiration, because they asked, they're like, what are things that we can look at to know where your head's at? Like, what is the inspiration? I was like, oh, alien isolation. Like a big theme of this campaign is what is it like to be isolated from basically anyone for 5 years. You are stuck with the same 3 other people that you did not know beforehand. Maybe you did. We'll see what the players want to do. But like, what is that like? And you have one point of communication that is keeping you sane, and it is a voice in a radio. And from a game master perspective, and I'm a little bit nervous, I have to be honest, but I think even if it turns out to be the worst thing we've ever done, I think we have to try, because it's no fun doing the same things you've seen everywhere. I like to innovate and I like to push. I'm a little nervous about it, but from a game master perspective, I'm excited of the challenge of doing a 4-hour session, let alone 3 of them, a 4-hour session where there are no NPCs. Like, there's so many limited options and limited resources on what they can pull from me. And I think the challenge on their part is now they have to have, and I told them, I was like, you need to take full creative liberty. Do whatever you want. I don't care if you come with like moments of like, I want to make sure I do this. I want to make sure I do that. I want to make sure at some point I do this. That's fine, right? Because you guys don't have a lot of resources here, at least not to pull from me. But from a game master perspective, that brings me an interesting challenge. Because how do I tell a story through these characters with these players without being able to give them access to things? What happens when you limit your capabilities? When you limit traditional resources like NPCs, like items, like paperwork, like things you can find, right? Because they've been down here for 5 years. What are they going to find, right? It's when you limit these things that you can help players with, that you can give them access to, what doors, what windows do you then have to open? What walls do you now have to break down that traditional D&D or traditional game masters do not do? Because you are being forced to have things taken away from you. Where do you go when your resources are taken away? What do you do when the things that are tried and true and are helpful you don't have access to anymore? I'm really intrigued about this challenge for myself and for the players. And I'm glad, I don't know how it's gonna go. It might be the most boring series you've ever watched, right? I don't know. The episodes might only be an hour because it fails miserably on the in-session games because my players don't know what to do and I don't know what to do. And so you guys get super short episodes, right? I don't know, but I'm really excited and I want to innovate and I want to try. And so if anybody has suggestions or ideas on what we can give the players access to, because we've taken away so much, because we've taken away NPCs, right? NPCs are a huge resource. What do we give them in return? I'm late. I missed the episode yesterday. Oh, 7. Oh, no. Oh, no. And my gifted sub ran out. 7. 777. Oh no, we did miss you yesterday. We really did. Molly and Gal and I and Fox Daddy were all in the chat. We even got raided by Ava towards the end of it. We got a raid coming in and watching our episode, and they stayed and watched with us. Oh, 7, we missed you. Was unpacking? Well, that's good. That's positive. I'm glad that you're unpacking. Are you in the new place then? Does it feel comfy and cozy and at home yet? Congrats, by the way. That's a super cool thing. Super cool accomplishment. I already have hiccups. Oh my Lord Jesus Christ. Yay, I'm glad. Aww. What's like the greatest thing you brought with you? Like, is it an artwork piece? Is it a little baby plant? Is it a Lego figure? What is the greatest thing you brought with you? 'Cause I want to know. Let's see. Oh Lord, so tonight's gonna go, huh? Oh well. A couple of streams ago, I believe you said you enjoyed how, in Calamity, Brennan reminded the players of things they would know. Perhaps you could lean into the character's perfect knowledge of the space. Ooh, Theta, I really love that, actually. Thank you for that. And again, any suggestions on what I can do for the players because I'm taking away such an essential resource from them, I wholly and humbly want and acknowledge. So I'm going to put a note here. I'm going to put what can I do for the players? I'm going to put a note and I'm going to say, remind them of things they would know. They have excellent knowledge of this space, area, their job, because I'm making them pick specific jobs. Let's see. Let them use this as a vital, like, jumping off point or resource. Thank you, Theta. I appreciate that, because that's going to be the big deal, is like, we're taking away a huge, huge benefit to them. They have no access to NPCs at all. So I want to give them as much in return as possible. Had shit sleep Saturday since we didn't get the PCs, but I slept better last night. Oh, good. I'm glad. Listen, sometimes that's going to happen, especially when you move to a new place. When I move places, I thank the gods that I like sleeping on the floor. Because that means that everybody can help me move everything in. I can say my goodbyes. I can go back into my space, say hello to my cats, and we can all cuddle up on the floor and go to sleep. And deal with it tomorrow. Like, my DIY Lucifer duck? Hell yeah, 7. DIYs and you made it yourself? Send me a picture. What do you mean you made it yourself? Excuse me? Excuse me? Happy to be of service? I'm glad, Theta. Genuinely, you provide such good stuff. And I would never think of these things, you know? I've been trying to... It really only hit me when my player said, because I was like, do you guys have any questions? And when my player said, yeah, are there gonna be any NPCs or are we alone? Once they said that, that's when I had the realization of, oh, fuck. You are alone down there. And I realized how much I had taken away from them. So I definitely want to see what I can give to them. I think that'd be really helpful. I'll send you the pic of it I took with my owl nightlight. Do it, do it. Do it. It'll be okay. Uh-oh, why am I getting tagged and things? Why am I getting Discord notifications? Who the fuck is notificating me? I hate when you join a new Discord server and all the fucking welcome tabs. It is not supposed... I literally have every single notification off. And it still sends me a little thing when those stupid welcome tabs are like, welcome at username. I'm like, no, don't do that. I have that notification off and you still send me a goddamn fucking notification. I hate that shit. Drives me crazy. All right, 7, let me see. Oh my god, he's so cute! Oh my god. He's so cute. Wait, so was he originally like a chef duck? Like a cook duck, and then you made him into Lucifer? Because that's cute. That's adorable. Oh. Yes, I can tell. I worked in a culinary school for a bit. I know what the chef duck looks like. I can pick him a mile away. I'm like, oh, chef duck. Oh. I used air-dried clay on his hat. How did that work for you, then painted? Did you like using air-dried clay? Because I've tried to use some of that, like, Sculpey stuff. My problem is it holds fingerprints. And it drives me crazy that it holds fingerprints. I can never seem to get rid of them. I loved working with clay in high school, and I haven't done it since, and I'm really sad about it. But I loved working with clay in high school, and, what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, okay. I loved working with clay in high school because we had a pottery class. Not pottery. What do they call it? There's another word for it because it wasn't just pottery that we made, but I don't remember what they called it. Ceramics. That's the word. And I adored it. Everything I made was shit, and everything I still make with clay is shit. But it was so much fun to just get your hands wet and shove your hands into the clay and just mold. And I know people that are good use tools and stuff, but for me, I just love messing around with my hands because I'm not delicate. Y'all know this. I gotta get up in there. And my shit looked like shit, but I loved it. And you could easily get rid of fingerprints because the more you covered it in water, it got smooth. And then you just don't touch it. And then you water it again, you don't touch it. But like air dry clay and oven clay like Sculpey, I couldn't get fingerprints out. Because it's not like water-based like that, so you can't just water off fingerprints. I used air dry clay from the Dollar Tree that was Sesame Street branded. Good for you. Good for you. If you've got to use something that sucks, at least go get the cheapest version. Don't pay money for something that you know is going to suck anyways. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Lesbianism. But yeah. So, like, I don't know. I've never had any success with it. I suppose I didn't try it a lot, to be fair. I never tried the air dry stuff a lot. Just a little bit. But I didn't like how you couldn't get fingerprints out. It was driving me crazy. And I don't want to use the tools. I like getting my hands dirty. I don't want to use the tools, okay? But yeah. So 7, I will not discuss episode 2 since you haven't seen it yet. I will keep my mouth shut. But I will say, when a certain creature appeared, like almost within the first 5 minutes of the show, I was in the chat like, damn, 7 would have loved this. Damn. Oh, wow. I grabbed him to look at his hat, and I think the paint covered the print since I used acrylic. Oh. Okay. Yep, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, if you're painting it, definitely would cover it. That makes sense. Please, what creature appeared? Nah, you gotta go watch. You're gonna have to go watch and find out. Sawi, you can always listen to it. It's a shorter episode. So if you want to listen instead of watch, that works too. But I'm gonna make you find out. I'm not gonna tell you. Because you'll be excited, I think. I hope anyways. I remember even in game, little angry duck. I remember even during the session, when I brought the character out, all I was thinking was, damn, I hope 7 and Gal and everybody likes this. I hope they get a kick out of this. Because this is for them. Oh, my lord. So, I hope y'all like him. He's cute. He's a cutie little patootie. Cutie little thing. But yeah, episode 2 is out. We had a good time. Episode 3 is in 2 weeks. And then, surprise, surprise, I think, as long as everything goes according to plan, season 2 is officially going to come out in 2024 because we've already made some dates, and I am working with the players and getting things moving along, writing up a big lore document and things like that. That's what I was talking about when a few of you hopped in, is the lore document and the ways that this campaign or season 2 is going to be strange, and I'm excited. Gonna make me get on my PC just so I can double tap the episode and the stream? You don't have to do it right now. You don't gotta do it right now. I always put on like podcasts and stuff when I need to focus on something else. Because most of the time, the thing you're looking for, you will hear. And then you'll be like, what? And then you'll go back and you'll re-listen, right? So I usually will put on something playing when I don't really care about, like, I like the thing, but it's not necessarily, like, super important. So I'll let it play and I'll do my things. But I know that if they say something that catches my interest, I'm going to be like, what'd you say? I'm going to go back, listen for a second, go, damn! And then I'm going to go back to what I'm doing. So you don't have to do it right now. You don't got to do it right now. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. But yes, season 2 is on its way. They're already building characters. We had a call tonight to get it started. And it's going to be really, really weird. It is either going to be one of the coolest things, in my personal opinion, one of the coolest things. I don't want to get over, pull my britches up over my head or anything, but it's either going to be one of the coolest things in the TTRPG actual play space, period. Or it's gonna be the worst to ever exist. We'll wait and see. Yippee indeed. Yippee indeed. It's gonna be one of the two. And I won't know which one. I think I gotta move this down just a tad. Okay. I won't know which one until we start playing the game. And the reason why is because it's going to be a season where the players are only role-playing with themselves. And the entire season is basically just them role-playing with each other. I am essentially I'm barely in it. I'm barely in it. What I'm going to be doing this season as the game master is essentially just like answering questions, delivering lore, speeding up the clock. So you guys know, because we built the plot, right? The plot is that the lighthouse is breaking and it's essentially going to explode. So as the episodes go past, part of my job, rather than really like game mastering, is just another hour has passed. Another crack in the wall. A day has passed. The crack has gotten bigger, right? It's reminding them that if they wait too long to do anything, it's going down. And it's sort of like progressing that, keeping them aware of their time. Honestly, like, my fear is I don't know how it'll come across to the audience. But I'm throwing that nerves aside and I'm going to run it. Because what it essentially is we are they're playing a video game. And I am the text. Like, you know the really old-fashioned video games where it was a wall of text? And it would say, you see a blank, blank, blank. You see 3 doors. There is a glowing light out of one of them. What do you do? Question mark. And then you type like a direction, and then you go there. And you type like fight, and it says you do the thing. That is me. Essentially, I'm going to have 4 people playing a survivalist / escape game. You guys ever used to play in like the what is it? Amazing Games? Whatever that website was. It's not Newgrounds. It's past that. I'm not quite that old. It's like Amazing Games or something, where there was a lot of point and click escape games. And you would play as like a stick figure guy, and you would walk through like a school, and you'd find like lockers, and you gotta get like cash for the bully or the potato chips, and you're trying to like escape the school or escape the wherever. You remember that? Yeah, those style of games where stick figure dudes, you had to escape things. You remember? Okay. Essentially what season 2 is that. I have 4 people sitting at that table playing an escape game. That is what's happening for season 2. Because the entire game is just, basically, I am the UI interface. When you play a game like that, and you make a decision, right? Let's say they choose, it's me going, you hear screaming coming from your left, you see a bright light in the distance on your right. Which way do you go? They go, I go towards the screaming. I go, such and such will remember that. That is basically what I'm doing. I am the UI for a game that they are playing. An escape game they're playing. And can they finish it before the timer runs out? They are playing Majora's Mask, and they have 3 days. Can they get it done? So I don't know what it's going to be like to watch, but I'm excited for what the experience is at the table, because I don't think there's anything out there like what we're about to do. I genuinely don't. So I'm kind of like really thrilled about it. Speaking of games, love that shit. I loved that shit too. Any style of like point and click, go find things to use on other things, I love that shit. Speaking of games like that, the other day my friend gifted me Stardew Valley, and now I'm obsessed. Wait. Is Stardew Valley not just a farming sim? I've been told there's like an actual plot, but like, how much of a plot? Is there actually like, oh, this is a story that's just masquerading as a farming sim? Kind of like how Cult of the Lamb is like, oh, this is a like dungeon crawler masquerading as a camp building game. It's not just a farming sim. Okay, so it is like plot masquerading as a farming sim. Interesting. I'm intrigued. I never had it spoiled for me, whatever happens in Stardew Valley, which is kind of unique on the internet. So I've always been interested in it, but I don't know. I feel like maybe I could control it. Depends what happens in the plot. But yeah, I'm very excited. You guys have built really, really cool stuff for Season 2. And the players are excited. There's going to be a lot of hallucinations. The trigger warnings are massive for Season 2. But the big ones were gaslighting, because there's going to be a lot of gaslighting, because that comes with the territory, and hallucinations. It's a lot of, I just saw you over there trying to do the thing. No, you didn't. I was never there. What are you talking about? So I was like, everybody comfortable with this? This is the type of game we're playing. And they're like, yep. And I was like, okay, cool. So that's going to be interesting. And then, of course, the imminent idea that you're going to implode inside the lighthouse is also terrifying. You can fish. There's a wizard dude. There's events. You can romance some of the NPCs, and there's some storylines in it. Interesting. So you can fish. There's a wizard dude. Events, and you can romance NPCs, and there's storylines in it. So it's Harvest Moon. Like, is there a main plot? Is there a main plot to the story? Or is it each of, some of the NPCs have their own sort of little storylines that you can go choose to develop? Because if there's not a main plot, I hate to inform you, but that's a farming sim. Because that's just Harvest Moon. I know most people are in the Animal Crossing craze, but Harvest Moon is just that. I believe, but I haven't got too far in it. Okay. Because if there's no main plot, like, I'm cool with Stardew Valley. I hold no beef. It's just one of those things where, like, and I think you can be gay in Stardew Valley, which you definitely can't do in the Harvest Moon games. But Harvest Moon has been doing it for decades. They just don't have a main plot. Well, they kind of have a main plot. Yeah, I guess Stardew Valley is just Harvest Moon, but you can be gay. Oh, for sure? Yeah, so Stardew Valley is just gay Harvest Moon. I love that. Because Harvest Moon has been going for decades. And they technically have a plot. It's not super dark, though. I assume Stardew Valley is a little bit darker or more mature. But, because that's all Harvest Moon is you start a farm, you can have little animals, you raise a farm, there are people in the town, there's events where you can compete, like you have the best horses or the best crops or the best whatever. There is a fairy, and usually what happens is you go to save all her fairy sprites. So you have to go, you have to get so far into the mining dungeon in order to find a fairy sprite and save a gem. Or you have to get far out into the woods to save another one. And then you give them all back to the fairy goddess, who would be your wizard dude. And that's the main plot of the game. There's different dialogues for some of the characters depending on what gender you pick for your farmer. Oh, that's cute. That's nice. Oh, I love improved Harvest Moon. That's cute. Oh, I'm glad that people are inspired by that. So that's cool that they're making new things. You'll have to tell me about it, Seven. I'm interested. Apologies in advance if this is insensitive. Gaslighting is being made to think your perception of reality is wrong. I'm not gaslighting you. I'm giving you advanced warning that your perception is wrong. Theta, I think... So, here's the thing. You are correct, Theta. What I have experienced in my couple of times being at tables is that people use words like gaslighting, like technical therapy terms, technical medical psychological terms, even though they have a definition, most people have a different interpretation of that definition, which is not correct. And you're correct. Like, right, what you said is absolutely more correct for the definition of gaslighting than what I said. The problem is people do not understand how to explain that. So the reason why if I go to players and I'm like, hey, there's going to be gaslighting in this campaign, or I say, hey, on my, like, consent checklist, there's gaslighting, and then I say it the way I said it, is because I've met people who go, oh yeah, that's gaslighting. But if I didn't use that word, even if it's not what that word meant, they wouldn't be able to tell me that it's a trigger for them, right? They would just say, well, that's, do you get what I'm trying to say? Is people don't necessarily know how to define their triggers, so they use words that they think fits for them. So that's why I use that term, because I might do something where an NPC or a part of the world might be like, you see a light flickering, right? Like, because hallucinations are a bit of like, you thought that was reality and it's not reality, and I'm going to try and convince you that that reality you're seeing is not reality, but it is reality to you, but it's not reality. So I use those terms because they're a little bit more like, hey, you're going to think it's this big term. I'm warning you ahead of time. It might fall under that category, even though it technically doesn't. But you're correct, Theta. I've had that issue before where, like, I probably shouldn't say it, so I'm not going to detail it, but also, hello, gal. You're missing deep, insightful conversations because I've been talking to players and discussing things, while Seven is talking about Stardew Valley. So Seven, one of the romanceable NPCs, Alex, is a bit, off if the player's a girl, but for a male player, he's a lot better. We love it, Seven. I'm just yapping about Stardew Valley. I love it. Give it to me. It pulls me back to reality so that we're not having too crazy of philosophical conversations. And then another example is one of the other romanceable characters will be like, oh shit, you're a lesbian? If you offer to date them as a girl farmer. I love that. I love that so much. That's God tier. Yeah, gal, I'm just talking about, so this campaign is gonna have hallucinations and stuff in it. So one of the trigger warnings that I put up was like gaslighting. And so it's like, the definition of gaslighting is a little weird because it's trying to convince you that your reality isn't reality. And there is going to be a lot of like, you know something to be true, or you are like, such and such person said that, and that person is like, I never said that. What do you mean? I was never there. What are you talking about? Are you crazy? Which isn't technically gaslighting, but to a lot of people it is. So, I wasn't intending to object to your safety tool use. I intended that to be a joke rather than, actually. Oh, Theta, I'm sorry. I read the text wrong. I apologize. That's my fault. I try to be as open to that kind of thing as possible. But I appreciate you, Theta, for clarifying. And even if you weren't trying to joke, I totally get it. Because I won't say exactly what it is because I don't think it's my place to say. But I've been that person who's like at a table, did something that wasn't allowed on the consent checklist because my definition of the word they had used was completely different from the definition of the word to them. And I won't say what it was, but think of one of those psychological terms that people use. My definition of it was like, no, what I did wouldn't fall into that category. But in their definition, it absolutely did. So it's one of those moments of like, you just have to, you want to be as clear as possible. And this is a hot take. People are going to hate me for this. I don't like anonymous, like, anonymity when it comes to discussing trigger warnings and what is not allowed at the table. I do not like anonymity. I respect and understand people who want it and why they want it. I do not like it for those reasons. Because if you cannot clarify what something means to you, it might mean something fully different to me. So, like, but at the same token, if you are able to handle a situation where that occurs with grace, right? If you want to be anonymous, then I just think you have to understand that if a situation like that does occur, where someone crosses a boundary because they didn't understand what your boundary was, as long as you can be polite and respectful and understanding of that person who crossed it, then I think you're okay. It's just slippery territory, is what I'll say. I'm gonna be real with you, I was hardcore snoozing during the premiere. Y'all's voices are so calm. Do you mean of episode 2? Do you mean Saturday? Or do you mean the first episode? Roll for yeah, exactly. Flirting. Yeah, literally, like, what's your definition of flirting and what's my definition of flirting? Yeah. You guys should watch it together. And that's totally okay, right? Like, it's very cute. The second one, my ass was out. I love that. I'm glad we were soothing. That makes me so happy. Well said. Thank you, Theta. I appreciate that. And I also recognize that on that side of the coin, I come from a place of privilege because at this moment in my life, I don't have any trigger warnings. So I do come from a place of, like, privilege with that commentary. So I recognize that, like, there is probably nuances that I don't get, right? There may be a topic that is so hardcore for somebody that they're like, I really cannot get into detail on why on that thing at all. That's why I want to be anonymous. So just assume anything there needs to not be there. Candle ASMR? Literally, Candela ASMR is what we were doing. Literally. It was a soothing episode. To be fair to Gal, and this isn't a spoiler, a lot of that episode was me doing the, well, darling, come now, voice, which is very slow and very low and kind of soothing. So... it makes sense. I get it. I was trying to figure out trigger warnings for my one-shot. Had no clue what counts as triggering. Well, and that's the thing, Gal, is... so, for me, it's less of, like, needing to know everything under the... what I've learned. Excusez-moi, what? Yes, Seven, I hope you're prepared for this voice. For a large majority of the video. It's quite a fun NPC. We love them. They're a great NPC. I was also on 2 hours of sleep, and I was in bed with the perfect cold air to warm blanket ratio. It was over before it even started. Aww. I'm glad you got a good sleep, though, because that's what matters. Because guess what? I love you and I appreciate all of you when you come to things like that, but it's on YouTube. It'll be there for you to listen to later, so it's okay. I appreciate y'all, though. My ass clocked out at Ellie? Oh, damn, you were gone fast. Oh, Ellie's voice is really soothing, though. She's the, well, I guess if that's really what you want to know. Oh, that is very ASMR. Oh, I see why you dropped. Yeah, you got a good point, actually. I never realized Allie's voice is very ASMR. I was telling Seven, they missed the cute little creature, so they're gonna have to wait until they can listen to the episode to get the cute little creature reveal. Because I was like, I remember putting in that creature, and I'm like, yay, they'll like it. My last chat message was my last second of consciousness. I love that. That's quality. My eraser is green. Why and how? It's molding. It's coming to life. The mold is gonna take over. But gal, if you want Shrek, not Shrek. Oh my god, not Shrek. If you want a consent checklist, I can send you my Google sheet. You're more than welcome to make a copy and use it. Oh, I don't think I can attend, by the way. I apologize. Double check my calendar. Yeah. Yeah, I just scheduled stuff. But enjoy your first game. Enjoy it, because you're going to have so much fun being a DM. I know you will. And then I saw her face. Bow, 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 bow. Now I'm a believer. Bow, wow, wow. Not a trace. Bow, bow, bow. Or doubt in my mind. Bow. I'm in love. Ooh. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. I googled trigger warnings. Yeah. Yeah, so I took mine off an RPG consent. Actually. Oh god, this might make me sound awful. So I went to an RPG consent form. I took their list. And then I proceeded to add maybe 100 more terms that I could see myself going into in a campaign. I mean, I DM horror, so it's a little different. But, like, I also added more because what Theta and I were talking about is I don't think it's the trigger warnings or labeling them all or having them that's the problem. I think it's the vagueness of trigger warnings. I think it's the vagary that is the problem. So my consent checklist is huge because I put very specific things in there. Like, it's not just, and I don't, personal preference, I don't like green, yellow, red. My, like, list is, are you comfortable with it being role-played? Are you comfortable with it being described? Are you comfortable with yourself role-playing it? Those are my lists. And I always tell my folks, I'm like, assume it is to the extreme. Never assume that it's basic. Assume it's to the extreme. When I say described, I don't mean, oh no, he's burning in a fire. I mean his fucking skin is falling off and he's screaming in pain as the flame licks and you can see boils. Assume I will describe it to the worst. And then when I say roleplay, I don't mean, oh, I'm fine if somebody else, like, is talking to their parent as they die, right? I mean, I will be that dying parent. And I will be role-playing it fully, as if I am dying, right? So that is the way that I go, and most people don't like that, and that's totally fine. It's just my preference as a GM. Pain but fair. Don't worry, gal, you're gonna do amazing as a DM, I have no doubt. You're being tended by a former field medic in a supernatural horror setting. Super tingly. Yes, exactly. That song segment got me wanting to draw my future in-game husband in Stardew Valley. Do it. Do it, Seven. Draw him. Do it. I dare you. I made a dumpster hag who collects cats, bread, and empty cups. I love that. Oh my god. Why is she me? I love I collect cats and bread. I don't have empty cups, though. But she's still me. I am a hag. What type of rules did you have for your players? Excellent question. I wanted her to be you. Oh, you created the perfect character. I'm so sorry, but that's okay. Because you know what you gotta do now? Either give it to somebody else, let them run with it, which would be ideal, or just throw her in as an NPC, and I want you to impersonate me. I want you to fully impersonate me. Do it. You have my full permission. I want you to fucking pretend to be me, because it'll be hysterical. If there's anything in the cup, she would throw a fit, and if you give her cats, she gives you lore. She's an NPC. Yes. Yes. That's too accurately me. That is me to a T. That is more me than I can say. You just put me in your game and I fucking love you for it. Oh my god. So rules for players. This might sound crazy. My players did not have any rules that were not safety rules. So I essentially said, like, you can try to do anything. And I was like, you can try to do anything, you can role play whatever's, accepted at the table, you can push, you can attempt, you can ask me for things, you can tell me you are doing things. Leave it to me to tell you if something doesn't work. Safety rules, I got you. Safety rules I can give you. Imagine Latrine from Men in Tights, that's my hag. God tier. God tier. But there's nothing in them. Yes, there's nothing in my cup. There's nothing in my cup. No, there's nothing in them. God tier. So safety rules. The way that I run safety rules at the table is basically, I have people, so the way we did it for season 1, it's gonna change a little for season 2. But season 1 was the first time I ran a game. So what I did was, I was like, physically, give me a big old X. I'm not talking here. I'm not talking this. I'm not talking this. If everything in this moment needs to stop, whoever's role-playing, whoever's talking, whatever is happening, if you need it to stop immediately, I want a big old X right in front of you, and you need to say, like, X, red, you can say anything but stop or no. That's my big thing, is do not say stop, do not say no. It's like yelling help outside. If you don't yell fire, nobody's gonna believe you. When we're playing horror, I will not believe you if you say stop or no. That's not how this game is played. So it's a big old X, and you need to say X, 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 or red, or something like that. And you do both at the same time, so that I can visually see you, because this is hard to interpret as literally anything else, and so that I can hear you making the words. But dumb Tish, I thought it felt fey. It did, Theta. It did. For season 2, I'm gonna implement an actual safe word. I don't know what it's gonna be yet. I'm thinking maybe Batman. But it needs to be something that would never come up in conversation. But I'm gonna implement an actual safe word, and I'm gonna stick with our big X's. Yeah, grapefruit could work, right? Anything that is, like, very clearly, something that couldn't occur. Mr. Pickles! Oh, Lord. I was trying to find something that really could not happen. I was actually considering, like, because that's my convo safe word with my hubby. There you go. Right? That's perfect. That's perfect then. I was trying to find something that is so weird it could not possibly be involved. So that's why I was either trying to think of things that they would not have, since this is a campaign that takes place before technology. So I genuinely was gonna make the safe word, like, Elon Musk or some shit. Like, genuinely, like, Facebook was gonna be my safe word or something, because there's no way, shape, or form it could ever show up in the campaign. Zoo Pals, there you go. Glockenspiel, there you go. There you go, right? Like, it has to be something that there's no possible way they're ever gonna say this. But I will be instituting the safe word with the big movement. Because for me, if you have visuals, if you are not just vocal, if you are doing something with visuals, whether you're online or you're in person, I might not clock you saying something, but I will see you. I will see you going real fast. And if you combine that movement with you talking, especially if I'm over here role-playing with somebody and you're not supposed to be talking, I'm going to turn to you and I'm going to stop the table. So that's the rules I implement for safety tools. I do not use, some people do use, I do not use any form of, like, continue but move on. So for live, digitally done shows, because it is really difficult to, / you really don't want to, if you can avoid it, stop in the middle of a live stream, right? What they'll do is, like for one of mine, we play on Zoom. Zoom's actually really good at this. I hate that it's good at this, but it's really good at this. The chat in Zoom doesn't just give you a little notification. It pulls up what the player said, like what the person said in chat. So if you're role-playing with someone on a live stream, and you like accidentally overstep or you cross a boundary that someone else didn't know they had, that person, you don't necessarily want to stop the whole live stream. So that person is already at their computer. They can immediately, what I would do and what some of my live streams do, is they'll type the word line in all caps. Because usually in D&D, what trigger warnings are called are lines and veils. That's the format they use traditionally. So they will type the word line in all caps, that's it, into the chat. Zoom automatically shows you what a person typed, even if you have your chat closed. So the people who are role-playing are in this moment, they're gonna see the word line and immediately change the conversation. Or the GM is usually what happens, and was the best way to do it, the GM, whether he's role-playing or not, whether they are like in the moment and focusing or whether they're watching people play, will see the word line and go, and we fade from this moment in order to immediately stop. No longer passing a boundary, we move somewhere else. And then whoever was involved in that then goes into the chat and is like, hey, my bad, let's talk about it at break. Let's talk about it after show. And that is how you do it if you are live streaming. But I play my games in person when I GM. So I gotta see you, I gotta hear you, and I don't continue the game. If we are in person and you call a safe word, we all are stopping because I can cut it out of the video. But we're all gonna stop, and the first thing I'll do is I'll go, what's up? I'll literally be like, what's up? Are you okay? What do you need? If the answer is just like a yeah, I don't like where that topic's headed, I don't want to deal with painting your nails, I'll be like, okay. Is it the description? Was it the role play? Is it the whole topic? Depending on what they tell me, we might continue, we might end the scene. If they're straight up like, I think we need to just like, we can't go back to that topic, it needs to stop, the scene needs to end, even if they weren't involved, then what I'll do is I'll go, okay, whoever me and the player was doing it, we're gonna go back into that scene, we're not bringing up these words, this topic at all, we're just gonna end the scene. 2 sentences, basically we're gonna look at each other again, I'm gonna have the NPC or you're gonna have your character say like a line that ends our scene, and then I'm gonna say we fade, and we continue. So it's the same process as live stream pauses, it's just addressing it in the moment because I can, versus waiting until break. I was looking in the archives and I found a book filled with pressed human faces. Yeah, that's cool. See, I think that's funny because when on stage and you forget what to say, you scream line. Yes. Isn't it funny? Let me read your other one and then I'll go into this because this is so interesting for me. I hope it's not boring, but I love talking about this. It's like in the Great British Bake Off, the judges will say brand names or curse when a competitor is crying, so it gets cut from the show. Yes, gal. Exactly what it is, right? Is like, that's it. That's exactly what it is. Is you're just stopping a moment, for whatever reason. And I also, when I play in person, when I'm GMing, I tell everyone at that table, this is a show. We are acting. I do expect you to stay here at the table the whole time. However, I do not come above your health. If you have to go fucking pee, or you're gonna piss yourself, go pee. If you have to go lie down on the floor because you're about to pass out, go do it. Like, if you need to leave the table, go leave. You don't have to, if it's something you can handle by yourself and gameplay does not need to stop, you can leave the table, you don't need to tell me. If you need the game to stop, that's when we safe word it. So like, let's say because another thing that some people don't do, I allow phones at my table. I just ask for them to be silenced. And I tell players to turn on their preview notifications on their lock screen. Because as far as I'm concerned, I've always run with the mentality of we live in a modern day and age. If there's an emergency and your phone is off, absolutely not. Like, there is nothing more important than someone being able to contact you in an emergency. I don't care who you are. So I don't make people not have their phones at the table. I don't make people turn off their phones. I tell them to silence it and to turn on so they can see the notification. And what I'll say is, don't open your phones or answer anything unless it's an emergency. But this way, if you see a notification come up, and let's say it says like, such and such is calling. Okay, cool. I'll let it go, right? Call ends. We're still playing. That notification comes up again. Same person. Such and such is calling. All of a sudden, you're like, they shouldn't be calling me twice right after each other like that. You can take that, you can get out the table, you can step out, and you can call them. Right? We can continue the game. That way you know, you can go check to see if it's emergency. If you come back to my table, you sit down and you're involved, great, we keep going. If you come back to my table and you're like, hey, we gotta stop, I gotta go, then we stop, right? It's one of those things of like, I don't like taking people's phones away. I don't like it. There was a mentality, and I think this is where it stems from. When I was growing up, I did a lot of theater, like community theater, all types of theater. They were we were kids, right? So it's a little different. But they were very strict about, like, you have to turn your phones off. You can't have your phones on you. And the one exception they had was, if you are a parent or a guardian of a child, you may have your phone with you at all times. And that struck me because I was like, yeah. Because if you have to have the ability to answer. You have to. Nothing comes above that. And then as I grew older, I think that goes for anyone. I really think that goes for anyone. And I think you just have to have trust and respect that the people at that table are not going to use it inappropriately. It's the Catholic school trauma. They took our phones. See? They tried in my school. Didn't last long. But yeah, definitely Catholic school trauma. But for me, it's more theater, because they would make you put all your electronics and stuff away. And you weren't supposed to have your phone out in class, but none of the teachers gave a shit, as long as you weren't making noise. But they would take it if they saw you out with it, so that's fair. Oh, the thing where you were saying, when you're on stage and you forget what to say, you scream line, and that's why lines and veils are funny. So, I have learned from jumping into the TTRPG space, there's a lot of practices and ideas and concepts that people think they created. And it was also, it's something that I have to check with myself every day, too, because, like, you know, there's a lot of things that, like, white people have taken from people of color, and we think we created it, right? We weren't allowed to have phones on stage because it fucked up with our mics. Oh, when you were in a performance, no. You couldn't have jack shit on you. Also, I was, like, never given a mic. I was the loud bitch in community theater. I never had a mic. So I wish, but no. It was more so like we were like 8. You know, I was in theater camps over the summer where you usually send your kid to like day camp. I went to theater camp. So they were like, put all your electronics in your bag. Go put your bag in your locker. We're gonna do exercises. That type of jazz. Yeah, gal, it's so. I have no animosity towards that idea that some people think that they have created things. I love the sharing of ideas and concepts and things like that. So there's no hate or animosity when I talk about this. It was just interesting because I jumped into the TTRPG space and there were a lot of like terms being thrown around, like lines and veils, or like people would do like what's one thing you really liked? What's one thing you wish you had more of? What's one thing, you know, an improvement for yourself? Things like that. I didn't realize, and most people don't because most people shouldn't, how much of the TTRPG space is acting. And I think that's why, for a lot of people, oh, hair's driving me crazy. I think that's why a lot of people are finding the modern age TTRPG space to not be something they necessarily enjoy. It's improv with math. Yes, it is, right? And I think for personal games and for home games, there's still plenty of people who really enjoy it and really love it. I should clarify, I jumped into the actual play space. I jumped into the space that performs it as if it is art, for content, creating things in the artistic direction. You never have to be perfect and you never will be perfect. It just surprised me how ingrained it was with traditional performance. For example, the things of like, what did you like, what did you didn't like, what could be improved upon, etc., etc. That's an acting technique. That is a theater acting technique. When you are finished with rehearsals, it's called Roses and Thorns. You give your rose, what did you really like about this process? You give your thorn, what didn't quite work? And you give your bud, which is what are we improving upon? Love Roses and Thorns. Yeah, so that's my thing, is like people would explain sort of this concept or they do something similar, and it was one of those things where I was like, it was weird to be on the side of it where it came from. Like, it was weird to know this is an acting technique that you guys are doing right now. And it's not good, I'm glad they're doing it, it's a great technique, but it was just, I can't explain it. It was this weird feeling of like, I wonder if they realize the crossover between a lot of these things. Like deja vu, but not. Yeah. It's irony. Yeah. It was interesting because, and I guess that's one of those things where sometimes maybe I feel out of place because, go ahead, Seb, and do whatever you gotta do. sometimes I think I feel out of place as a player because the things that are implemented in the actual play space, I have learned as a career choice. I learned it to be my job. Like it's like learning anatomy because you're becoming a doctor. And then you go do something else where, oh, yeah, they know the bones of the human body. That's, so it's really, really, sometimes I feel out of place because I feel like I am coming in from a position that is a different perspective on the things that are being used. So, especially during things like roses and thorns and buds, which is what I'll call it, sometimes I'm a little bit like, I don't necessarily want to give a thorn because I feel like, and it's just anxiety brain, I'm sure, but a part of me feels like it's speaking from like a privileged or a higher place. And I don't mean it to be, because it's not. It's not. I did not have a career in theater. It's not. But my brain feels like it's one of those, well, I'm the advanced kid in this class. I'm the experienced one in this group. And I don't mean for it to be that way, you know? Or I'm the tutor. So it's a weird balance of things. I'm learning how to navigate the space. And I really appreciate how, like, kind and open people are in this space. It's really nice. To be honest, I miss going to acting class. That shit was fun. Oh, it's so much fun. If you have a teacher who knows what they're doing, it's excellent. I would love to go back to teaching. I loved teaching in general. I would love to teach acting classes. I used to teach voice acting classes, a little bit of acting. And I would love to go back to it. The problem is I don't want to teach kids. And the only thing they ever want an acting teacher for is children. And I'm like, ugh. Can someone who wants an acting teacher for adults please hire me? Like, I did one-on-one acting sessions. I used to do one-on-one acting lessons on Fiverr. A lot of my clients were D&D players. They were people who were like, I really like the game and I find it fun, but sometimes I feel like I struggle with roleplay. And I want to learn how to be better at it. I feel like I take too long and I improv and I can't get in the mindset of the character. And that is literally what I would do, is I would work with people on how to do just basic fun acting. And it was so amazing, and I wish I could go back to that. Being an acting teacher is my backup job. I want to teach high schoolers. So you have a market. I cannot tell you the amount of jobs I see every fucking day for after-school drama teachers. Not a joke. Not a joke. That's a market. That's a whole market that you could work in. Genuinely. Like, I don't know how much it pays. You might have to do 2 at once. But you could absolutely do it. It's fully 1,000,000% possible. I have to turn them to, I would be employed if I was willing to work with minors. Genuinely, I would be, because I love teaching, and I love theater, and I love acting. I just don't want to work with kids. Because I know my mouth. I know my mouth, and inevitably I will say something that gets me in trouble. At least if I'm working with adults, what the fuck they gonna do? Like, I know my mouth. I know I would swear, or I would, like, fucking, like, make a comment or something, and it would get me in trouble. And that sounds bad. I don't mean it bad, right? I don't mean it in that way. But, like, I say fuck 24/7. 24/7. I say bastard, I say pussy, I say cunt. Like, I know I would say something. I do not want to work with teens or children of any kind. I have no interest. And you also, like, can't talk philosophically, you know? I mean, so do high schoolers. Yes, absolutely. But, okay, maybe I need to clarify a little bit because this is starting to sound super bad and it's going to get clipped. I already know it. Let me rephrase. When you work with a certain age group, I'm going to say minors in this instance. Oh, we're still on Candela Obscura. Let me switch that bullshit to just chatting. Twitch, what are you doing? Okay. Done. So when you work in a position that is traditional like that, there is a relationship that is formed where you are in a position of authority. You have power over the people under you that you are teaching. Especially if you're working with minors, it's automatic. If you're working a corporate job, right, your manager, your boss has that position over you. When it comes to, like, classes, like acting classes or ceramics classes or pottery classes, right, whatever it is, the dynamic is not that simple. Because they are paying you to attend a class and learn from you. You don't have power or authority over that person except to remove them, like, from a space that they were not entitled to originally. Like, when you're working with high schoolers or you're working with children, you have to be very careful and very conscious of the authority in your position. And you can't abuse that. Same thing in college. You have to be very careful. In college, right, it might be legal to do shit, but you have to be very careful of, like, I'm a professor. I can't advocate you going to ChatGPT and writing your essay that way because that's plagiarism. But do I actually think that? Maybe, right? So there are things you cannot say and you cannot do like that. When you are just a teacher for random people taking your class, there is no, like, I can take advantage of you energy. Okay, you didn't like the class. You didn't like the teacher. The teacher asked you to leave. Great. Like, you're not, I can say whatever I want. It is then your choice to leave and ask for a refund. If you don't get the refund back, maybe you might sue me or something, right? But there is no entitlement or authority or, like, responsibility besides the exchange of money that is placed here. We expect respect from each other, but if we don't get it, there's no, like, big consequence where I can be like, you know, unless you're breaking a law or some shit. Like, it's I don't know how better to explain it, right? Like, if you walk into a place thinking they're LGBTQ friendly and the person who runs the class starts talking about, like, conservative stuff and how they hate the gays, it doesn't matter. And I hate to say that, but there's nothing you can do about it except leave and never come back. Like, there is no boundary or relationship in place where they have to be nice to you or have to pretend to agree with what you agree with. Fair enough, I got you. Yeah, that's just my personal thing, right? Is like, I don't want to be, I have a history with like censorship, and I don't want to be in that position where somebody is like, you need to be careful what you say. That really irks me. That really irks me. Maybe I do have a trigger. Maybe it's that. But like, yeah. So, it's not for me, but I highly encourage it. We need to continue art education and theater education for the youth. I hope you get to work that job. If you don't end up doing what you want to do, but I want you to do what you want to do. So if you have something else you want to do instead, do that. Long philosophical conversations. I appreciate you staying here with me as I speak nonsense to the world. I don't know. It's interesting. Topics like this are interesting because they carry so much like nuance. Whether we're talking about like actual plays in TTRPG space, we're talking about acting, we're talking about whatever. There's so much nuance. So it's interesting. Like the more you get into these spaces, the more you develop an opinion. And I have found, I guess ironically, because I've been told I'm very stubborn, which I believe, but I have found that the older I get and the more I learn and grow, the more I am very severely in the side of thinking that is not black or white. And that is not the majority of people. And so sometimes it's frustrating to be like, hi, I'm over here painting in gray. Hello, excuse me. And everybody else is painting in black and white. And I'm like, okay. Well, I don't want to paint in black or white because one of you is going to yell at me. But if I don't paint in black or white, then both of you are going to yell at me. I mean, we talked about it before. I was always the devil's advocate. In school, I was the bitch everyone hated because I was the devil's advocate. I was like, well, what if this? What if that? Why not this? Why not that? And people were like, ugh. I was like, sorry, but things are nuanced. You don't have to agree, but things are nuanced, my guy. Whether you like it or not. So it was interesting. It was interesting. I don't know. There's just so much, like, I try to stay off all, like, the news and stuff, especially, like, social media news. It's crazy how many people need to go up and touch grass. I'm like, bro, who gives a shit? Like, so many people, fucking, like, the past month, like, all the Minecraft YouTubers or some shit. I'm like, bro, like, relax. Stop watching him and go watch someone else then. Like, it's not. Relax. Oh. I don't know, man. I don't know. Hot topics. Hot topic. A great store to shop. Woo! I'm dropping things. Their entire wardrobe is Nightmare Before Christmas. It's goth Disney. Oh. Moving on. D&D. How did you get into it? Great question. I didn't. I knew what it was, but I never tried to play because I always want to be the bad guy, and you can't be the bad guy. And so I just never did it, and I had a friend who really wanted to run a campaign for me. And I told her, I was like, nah, because I want to be a villain. And you can't be the villain. And she said, okay, well, if I run a villain's campaign, will you do it? I said, yeah. If you let me be the bad guy, I'll do it. So she found other people. We were all like Suicide Squad stuck together, had to work with each other villains. We ran maybe like 3 sessions, so like 9 hours, and then it fell apart and collapsed, and I was like, uh-oh, I liked it. I was like, uh-oh, I enjoyed it, because it was a source of acting that I didn't have, because I wouldn't get cast in anything, because nobody would cast me in jack shit. So I was like, And then I didn't play forever because I didn't want to play with random people because I don't like that energy. And so from that, I started having, I don't fully remember, I think I started having the algorithm feed me like little tiny bits and pieces of like Critical Role stuff. Like when you don't know anything about it, but you know the voice actors, because I knew the voice actors. And I was like, I'm not gonna watch these. It's not really my thing. I don't do D&D. It was fun to play for a little bit, but whatever. And then Candela Obscura came out. Not the book, because again, I wasn't into it. I didn't even follow anyone. I got an ad because it was feeding me little teeny bits of Dimension 20 and Critical Role and a couple Legends of Adventurous. It was feeding me like little TikTok clips. And I was like, oh, these are funny, cool. Whatever. And then it fed me like a trailer or something for Critical Role's first Candela Obscura season. And I was like, horror? Spooky? And it's a new thing, so like I could jump on the first episode without having to try and catch up crazily, which is, oh my god, too many hours. And I was like, okay, well, I'm free that night. I'll check it, see what it's about live. Maybe I'll like it. It's horror, and it's gonna be the first episode, and it's not gonna last forever because they only were doing 3 of them. And I watched the very first episode with Matt GMing, Laura Bailey, Robbie Daymond, I want to say Anjali Bhamani, and Ashley Johnson, I think were the circle. I think that was the circle. And I fucking loved the first episode. Like, I fell in love with the costumes, the quality, the acting, the content, the horror. Robbie Daymond had me hooked. He's genuinely, I remember watching that first episode or whatever it was, and I was like, I like them all, but holy shit, I like this dude. I really, really like this character he's playing and the way he performs. I was like, oh, I really, really like this guy. So, lo and behold, it was Critical Role. It was Candela. That's why I'll never stop playing Candela. That's why I'm never going to stop making Candela series, even if we make other content. Because it's what got me into this, is watching that first Candela episode. And then I kept watching every single season. And I was obsessed with it, to the point where I bought the book when it came out. But if we're getting really nitty-gritty, is that first episode, and it was Robbie Daymond, if we're gonna be honest. So I just remember, like, fuck, I love this character he's playing. I don't know why, but this character is so good. The rest of them are great. I mean, Ashley Johnson's a king, and, like, her little dude was so funny, but he's just he had the weird down. He had the weird down for the style, for the genre. And I was like, and I'd not heard him in anything else. That's what's funny. He's the one voice actor I didn't know. And I was like, oh, he's cool. And then he performed, and I was like, uh-oh. One day I'll meet him. One day I'll meet him, and I'll be a puddle of tears as, like, a fucking 25-year-old, or older by this point. And it'll be embarrassing, but that's okay. Yeah, it was Candela. It was Candela that got me in. Since then, I have played, 3 I technically have 4. Hell yeah, it was fun. What got you into it, gal? What brought you into D&D? How did you find the space? I technically only have experience with 3 systems. That's Candela Obscura, the teeny bit of D&D that I've played, and a game called 10 Candles, which is also like a fully improv game. I backed the Kickstarter for it, and actually do have a copy of Perils and Princesses, because I was going to try and play with my niece when she's old enough. She's not quite old enough, but I do have a copy of Perils and Princesses, which is similar to D&D, just kind of backwards. You play as, like, different types of princesses, and then your low rolls are better than your high rolls. So I would just use D&D rules. And then I've played an off-brand, like, animal version of D&D, but it's just D&D. My nerd friends. I did a one-shot with my improv friend and fell in love. Hell yeah! Oh, I'm so glad. I love when people find things that they really just vibe with. And they just sort of fall into, and they're like, I love everything about this, and now I want more. That's how I am. It's genuinely how I am. I fell in love, and I was like, oh, I must have everything about it. And I genuinely never thought, when I stepped into the world with the Candela series, I never thought I would ever get to play. Because I did not want to play online. I just don't. I did not want to play any personal games online, and I still don't. I really don't want to play personal games online. I don't enjoy them. So I was just watching the Candela series once a month. I would watch. I fell in love after Spencer. I really liked the first season. And then when they announced Spencer Stark's season, I was like, okay, cool, I don't know this guy. And then his season was my favorite, because I didn't know basically anyone at that table. I had no idea who Brandon Lee Mulligan was. No idea who Louise was. No idea who Spencer was. I fell in love with that season because that season also has PvP. And I was like, you can do that? And it has villains and it has backstabbery, and I loved it. And so after that season, I was like, I'm buying the book. I don't care that I will never have friends to play with. I'm buying it. So I bought it, and when it came out in I think 2023 November. I could be wrong. But I never intended on playing it because I didn't have friends to play personal games with, and I had no intention on joining professional, like, actual plays. No intention. I just wanted the book, and then I continued watching all the Critical Role series as they came out one by one for Candela. And mind you, Candela was all I watched. And then I was like, I don't remember fully, but I think at some point I was looking at casting calls and I saw one for Candela Obscura, and that was Queer RPG. And I was like, oh my god, I could join live stream games of Candela Obscura, like, as an actor. And I applied and I got it. And they are what brought me into the TTRPG space and kept me doing that. So full credit to Pure RPG for giving me a chance. Because I was probably the scariest looking person to fill out that form. Because I was like, I have no experience. I'm an actor and I want to be a bad guy and blah, 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 blah. Like, so full credit to them. They let me into this space, and I'm glad they did because they're amazing. But I had no intentions of ever playing because I didn't really know that you could kind of do that. I didn't know there were other things besides Dimension 20 and Critical Role. And then I saw the audition and I got it, and I was like, fuck. And now I try and be in every single one. And then when Beacon came out, I joined Beacon because now I'm a Critical Role person. My first ever campaign was a dumpster fire, not gonna lie. Tell me about it. I gotta know. I gotta know what happened. I have to know why it was a fire. Why was it a trash fire? I must know. If you're comfortable telling me, I want to know why it was a trash fire so badly. Please tell me why it was a trash fire. I'm so interested. Fully interested. Da da da. Da 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 da. Oh, that's funny. I wouldn't say that mine was a dumpster fire. Because mine was fun. That personal D&D game I played was fun. But it was a personal game. And I didn't know any of the people except for our GM. And they didn't know me. And you didn't really do, because it was a personal game at that time, so you didn't really do, like, no idea what consent checklists were, right? There was no talk about what you do. It was just throwing you in. Ate dinner, but ate too fast or too much or both? Oh, no, 7. Well, I hope your tummy feels better. But I'm glad you're back with us. We've been talking about what got you into, like, D&D and stuff. So, and then Gal said that they had a dumpster fire campaign, and I wanted to know why. It was mostly the DM. He didn't know the rules and was shit at keeping players' secrets a secret. Oh, I see. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, that'll do it. If you don't know the rules as a GM, ooh, you don't have to know everything. You don't have to know everything if you're willing to make stuff up. If your table is okay with you making stuff up, then you don't have to know everything. But you should know a good amount. That's why I haven't GM'd D&D yet. Is because I don't know nearly enough to feel confident doing that. That's why I like Candela, because it's almost solely improv. And if I want to fuck the rules, I will. Like, I got full permission, I will. Feels iffy, but I'm fine just not moving too much, or else I know that shit will come right out. Literally. Well, I'm glad that's okay, 7. Just let it digest then. Let it be okay. Enjoy. We are here to chat, or you can watch something else, whatever your preference is. I have Plants vs. Zombies pulled up, so I can play if we don't feel like talking. It's up to you guys. It's no worries either way. It's no worries either way. Oh, Gal. You jumped in a little later, and I want your opinion and your thoughts. So, and of course, anyone's opinions or thoughts on this, as I hiccup. Oh, more trash. Oh, Lord, help me. Whew. More trash fire DM stuff? Okay, let's see. As in, my character had a secret. They were 2 dwarves in a trench coat. I love that. My goal was to drop hints throughout the campaign, but my DM was terrible at keeping their mouths shut. Oh, no. Oh, that sucks. So they knew you were 2 dwarves in a trench coat. Oh, I'm sorry, Gal. That's unfortunate. I'll always give my opinion. Dope. So, I don't know if you were in here or not. I don't think so. But we were chatting about, for season 2 of our Candela, one of the players, I was speaking with some of the players today, one of them informed me and made me have a realization. They don't have access to NPCs. Because of the way we've built this campaign, the only NPC they are ever in communication with is Angie. She's not even there in person. Which means we are taking a very, very vital and strong resource away from them. Because we are taking away such a strong player resource, which is NPCs, I want to figure out what we can give them in exchange. So Theta mentioned we should be very clear about reminding them of the world and the lore and things that they would know. And, like, they all have to choose a job which would be the reason they were sent down to the lighthouse. So reminding them of their job and things they would know because of it and stuff like that. More monsters? I mean, that's valid, right? Give them more monsters to fuck around with. We really didn't have a lot. We don't have a lot in season 1, so I'll put that down. More monsters to fight and fuck around with. What if they get a care package or a letter like people do with prisoners? Ooh. They could have surface pen pals. Ooh, that's cute. What about a care package or letters like how prisoners get? They could have surface pen pals. The pause between fuck and around concerned me for a moment. Fuck. Around. I love it. I like that. You know it'd be it'd be fucked up and fun with this idea of like pen pal letters. We can go one of two ways. One, they're receiving them, but they're fake. They're fake letters. Yup, if Angie was making shit up. Yup, exactly. Or, two, things were sent, but they've been, like, hidden. So, like, let's say the players, because there are going to be parts of the lighthouse that they haven't explored. So that's another thing, is there's parts of the lighthouse they can't get into, or they haven't been able to get into, or they haven't explored because it's a little dangerous. So what if there's a room that, like, they open it and they're like, oh my god, it's boxes and boxes of letters and pictures from home, right? Like Survivor style. What? Wait, if? Oh, what? Tell me. I'm putting maybe they're made up from Angie, question mark, and then maybe they find them stored away, hidden away, in an untouchable room. I do like the hidden one a bit better, but that's just my opinion. I kind of like the hidden one too, because if we stick with the idea that Angie is behind the phenomena door, and she has kind of like smart home Disney Channel movie level of control over the lighthouse, then it makes more sense for her to be hiding real ones than it does for her to be faking letters, you know? What if Angie was making shit up? Yes, but the people are her last victims. So they find an underwater graveyard of the people that they thought they were talking to. I think you mentioned this last time, Gal. You can combine them. Yeah, I think you mentioned this last time. Let's see. Maybe combine them so there are letters or effects like items or items of previous victims of Angie's / of this lighthouse. See, okay, so here's something that this makes me think. I kind of want to. This goes in the vein of, like, making them think things that aren't true. Or making them think their reality isn't their reality. Rather than drop... I mean, we're going to drop hints, right? That Angie's the bad guy. But I think it would be interesting if a lot of the hints point to the idea that the lighthouse is alive. Because if it points to the idea that the lighthouse is alive, and then little contradictory hints are pointing to something else is controlling the lighthouse, then they're stuck in this position of, do we believe, like, the actual house is haunted? Or do we believe there is something controlling it? Because if you believe there's something controlling it, like how Angie is, then you need to keep the house there, or everything explodes. But if you think it's the house, you need to destroy the house. And then Angie kind of wins without them realizing it. So I think that'd be funny to try and, like, make them fuck around with both of them. Oh, maybe that's how the lighthouse keeps getting supplies. Ooh, interesting. What if they were supposed to go to a lighthouse, but Angie intercepted them instead and made them think that this is the place they're supposed to be? Oh. Okay, let me see here now. What if they were supposed to go to the lighthouse, but Angie intercepted them and brought them to her, like, controlled place and tomb, kind of. Tomb or cage. Well, it brought her to her cage instead. Oh my god. If we do that, where they were supposed to go to the real lighthouse, the creature that is Angie essentially kills and mimics, takes over the real Angie, because Angie brings them down in a vessel and then leaves in the vessel. Brings them to the cage of this phenomena Angie in order to get this group to release her. Then, if the players are rolling really well and narratively able to get in communication with the real Candela, and Candela's like, we're sending down people to save you, we're gonna come get you, like, whatever, we've been trying, then there's the opportunity for Candela to be like, what do you mean? You're not at our, like, there's no one there. We sent a rescue mission when you were supposed to come up. We haven't heard from you since. We assumed you all died. Like, what are you talking about? That would be really cool. That might be cool. Maybe there could be a single NPC that shows up briefly towards the end or after a big reveal to kind of explain the players about something. Like maybe a little creature dude that happened to be passing by or scavenging around the area of the lighthouse. The main thing that pops up in my head is like a sentient sea angel. If we go that route, an NPC could be someone from the actual lighthouse. The NPC is surprised that they're alive. Yeah, Seven and Gao. This exactly fits in. If she brought them, if she kills the real Angie, takes over her in the vessel, brings them to the fake cage, vessel leaves. I'm calling it a vessel instead of a submarine. Vessel leaves. This would explain and allow the players the opportunity to then have an NPC towards the end of the game that is like, no, this is the real Candela you're speaking to. I don't know where you are, but you're not at our lighthouse. Like, your families think you're dead. We tried to rescue you 5 years ago, and no one was there. Like, oh, you guys, wait, that's such a good idea. So I'm going to put this opens the opportunity for players to get in contact with the real Candela topside and learn that they were never sent to the lighthouse. Oop, they were never sent to the lighthouse. They have never been talking to Angie, the being killed and took her place. Body Candela found on the returning vessel. And Candela did go down to the lighthouse for a rescue mission, but they weren't there. I love that. The NPC is surprised that they're alive and thinks that the players are the hallucination. You're not alive, it must be my oxygen tank. Oh, I love that. Wait, do you guys remember y'all had suggested the concept of two different Angie voices. When we were originally talking about what the Angie phenomenon could be, where maybe a part of her is still in there and she does want to help the players or something, what if it's not two different Angie voices, but it's Angie and like the mysterious voice on the radio is the real person from Candela that's trying to be like, I don't know what's going on, but I picked up this radio signal, like, what are you guys talking about? What's going on? And so they're now in this position of like, do we trust Angie or do we trust this voice on the radio that's telling us that, you know, all of these things happened? That might be cool. And it does give them like double, like, it does give them two NPCs to communicate with, which is nice. So I'm going to put the other voice on the radio. I'm trying to help you voice. Gives a second NPC. I like that. For my NPC idea, I could just imagine going like, you're the guys that were sent to that weird place. Every one of your human fellows up there were moping around thinking you were dead. I imagine this in the voice of that one purple puppet comedian. That guy's awesome, by the way. I can't do his accent, but he's cool. I like the purple puppet comedian guy. Yeah, 7. I really like the idea that everyone thought they were dead. Like, I love this concept of everyone, like, their families have been mourning. Everyone topside is like, we couldn't find your bodies. You never made it. We only found a ruined, maybe they found a pristine vessel that floats to the surface with, like, a mangled, Angie in it. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that's what they find. Pristine vessel would be cool. I think it would be cool if whenever a player asks Angie a personal question, her stories never add up. Ooh, yeah, gal, that's cool. Angie's stories never quite add up for personal questions. So, you know, something we haven't super developed, which we don't necessarily need to, right? I can do it on my own. What do we think this personality of Angie is? Because we can't, I don't want to make her too nice and, like, sweet. Like, I don't want to make her Ellie Mae style. But I don't think we can have her be, like, abrasive and pushy, because then they wouldn't be listening to her for this long, you know? So I'm not sure what she should be like. I wonder what kind of personality the fake Angie should have. What if some of their stuff went missing and that spurred the search mission for them? Oh, interesting. That could be the case. That could be the case. Okay. Okay. My first thought was alcoholic cool aunt. I love that. I'll put that down. I'm going to put personality. And then I'll do little bullet points. Alcoholic cool aunt. I think she could be like a Detroit Become Human robot. Kind of has a personality, but it's very black and white. Ooh. A little robotic. Kinda has a personality, but very black and white. That could be cool. That could be interesting. Yeah, because if we imagine we're the players, right? And we're like, yo, Angie, they need to come and get us. We didn't sign up to be down here this long. Like, tell them they better come get us or whatever. If you're the person receiving those messages and what you're doing is reporting back what Candela supposedly is saying, then what type of reaction and personality would you have? I'm trying to think, like, I just saw Deadpool and Wolverine yesterday, and it was fantastic. And I'm thinking of, like, the characters in that movie and, like, the underlings specifically. Because that's kind of what she's pretending to be, is like, well, I can't do anything about it, you know. Whatever they say is what happens. I don't know why you're yelling at me. I'm trying to help you. I wonder. I feel like she would shiver or twitch sometimes and have long pauses between the words. Like she's just repeating noises instead of actually knowing what she's saying. Ooh, interesting. Interesting. Maybe shiver, twitch, long pauses, like repeating noises without knowing what she's saying. Interesting. Before we separated Angie from the voice on the radio, I dug the idea of her having an old-fashioned radio presenter voice. Slightly tinny and odd. Ooh, that could be interesting, Theta. Old-fashioned radio. Oh, old-fashioned radio presenter voice. Tinny and odd. That could be interesting. I'm down for that. That's an option. That's an option. I cannot spell. Okay. Yeah, she could be like that. She could be like that kind of like, all right, well, I guess we're going on an adventure, friends. Good luck out there. Like that kind of an energy. She could be doing that. I could see that. I could see that. So, do we think she's, like, sympathetic with the characters? Like, the players? Do we think she's the type that's like, I'm sorry. I know you guys have been stuck down there longer than you're supposed to be. I wish there was something I could do about it, but I don't know what to tell you. I can't just pilot a submarine by myself. I'm not just gonna steal one. Like that kind of energy? Or do we think she's more like, hello, your report for today? Don't give me your bull hockey, just give me your report. Like, do we think it's more like that? What's the energy? She coughs and it sounds like radio static? Oh, that's funny. I think she's trying to be empathetic, but doesn't really know what empathy is. Ooh, okay, okay. Trying to be empathetic, but doesn't really know what empathy is. Interesting. That would make sense, because she's like evil fake phenomena, right? Okay. Alright. So, you know what we gotta do? Let's build the real Candela NPC. Who is the real person that is trying to help them? What is that person like? The first instance is gonna be a matter of like them being like who is this? And the real person is gonna be like, this is Candela. We picked up this like radio frequency. This is such and such. Candela Obscura, we're picking up this radio frequency. Can you hear us? And the other people will be like, what do you mean? What? Yeah, we talked to Angie. And they'll be like, Angie who? And then they will leave the radio. And then when they call in the second time and get picked up, they're going to go, listen, I can't talk for very long, but I have an important thing to tell you, and I need you to trust me. That's what I want. I want the I need you to trust me from the random voice they just talked to in the radio. If we're going the route of a lab experiment, she doesn't know how humans work, so it's very copy and paste. Yeah, gal, I would agree with that. Nerd, huge marine biology nerd. Oh, I love that. The real NPC. I would put bullets. Let's see. Huge marine biology nerd. Oh, you know what? That kind of works, because the real NPC, if they're like a big like marine biology, investigating sort of like weird frequencies and cool creatures, What if the NPC is a new recruit? They were tinkering around and found them. Yeah, so let's say they're a new recruit, right? They're big on, like, discovery and technology, and they're messing around with, like, different sounds to try and get, like, creature frequencies. Like, you know how you listen to the ocean, you listen to dolphins? Like, that's some people's jobs. Or, like, trying to, you know, the conspiracy theorists who are trying to, like, hear communication from other planets and aliens? So he's messing around with that in, like, a facility or whatever, and he joined Candela, and it's one of those things where, like, he's like, oh my god, hello? And then someone answers, he's like, ha-ha, I got it! You know what I mean? It's Homeboy's first year out of college. Exactly. And he's like, hello, this is, 4276, please report your location, like that kind of thing. Oh my god, I love him. What, okay, so I'm gonna say was messing around with, sonar / radio technology, and picked up on their frequency and is ecstatic about discovering something new, but especially that there's people apparently down here at the bottom of the ocean. Oh, and you know what? It makes sense why he wouldn't tell Candela. Because if they're like, who are you? And he's like, well, I'm, because he wouldn't be like, you know, you're not supposed to tell people about Candela. He'd be like, well, I was just doing some work for Candela Obscura, and I was blah, 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 blah. And the players are going to be like, Candela? And they'll already have a little bit of, like, mistrust of Angie. So when they're like, you know, can you get us out of here? What's going on? He's going to be like, well, I guess I could ask them. And no doubt a player's going to be like, no. You need to do it by yourself. Do not tell them. Because there's something wrong. Because they're going to think Angie is still a part of Candela. So they're going to be like, can you get us out? Don't tell them. And he's going to be like, okay. I love this little guy. He's so cute. To add on to the lab experiment route, maybe she mimics the behavior she was shown by the scientist. Ooh. I know that in the FNAF books, there's a robot literally known as the Mimic. And in the books, I believe it said that it mimicked the aggressive and hostile behavior that it was shown by the father who created it to replace his dead son. Ooh, I like that idea. Let me go up to Angie. Maybe she mimics the behavior of the alchemist who made her. I like that. I think that's how the book goes, at least. I believe you. What if he thinks it's a prank call? Oh my gosh, that'd be so funny. Maybe he thinks it's a prank call at first. I was looking for the lonely man and I found you. Yes. What if Angie interferes with the call and cuts it off? Oh, that is happening. When it starts to become clear towards the end of the episodes that they should be trusting our nerd NPC, then Angie's going to start interrupting. Once Angie has realized that they have caught on to her, she's going to do everything in her power to bust out of this cage. Oh, yeah. I'm going to put eventually Angie is interrupting signals and doing everything in her power to bust out of this cage when she realizes that they have caught on to what's going on. I love that. That's so good. What are we naming this baby boy? What are we naming this cute little scientist boy? Oh my gosh, who is this boy? Yeah, let me out. Let me out. Ferris, the phone guy? Oh, that's so cute. I kind of love Ferris. Ferris is cute. Oh my goodness. Do we have a last name? Should he have a last name? Neville the intern? Oh no. Let's see. I like Ferris. Ferris, somebody give me a letter. And then I'll fuck around with a name that doesn't exist. Ferris. T. Okay. Ferris Tinkerston. Ferris Tinkerston because he tinkers. Ferris Tinkerson. I like it. Ferris Tinkerson. That's his name now. Ferris Tinkerson. He's a cutie. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's exactly the voice I'm gonna do. The voice I'm gonna do when he calls in is, oh my god. Oh my god, I did it! I did it! And then they're gonna go, hello? And he's gonna go, hello? What the hell? Are you a person? Why are there people on this line? This is like the bottom of the ocean. That's gonna be him. That is gonna be him. That's what I'm doing. That's the voice. That's it. Neville Horton. He definitely got called Tinkleston? Yeah, he did. Yeah, he absolutely did. Tinkleson. They called me Tinkleson in school. That's what they used to call me. But I'm not that. I'm smart and I'm powerful. I love him. I love him so much. That is gonna be his voice. D-Wing the little sea drawing the little sea angel dude. Good! Send him to me when you're done. I'm sure he's cute and adorable. Little sea angel. I love Ferris. Oh shit. Is this another prank call? Did I get the fucking number wrong? And they're like, what? Prank call? What are you talking about? And he's like, I was trying to reach a... You know, the work I do is very important, okay? I try to do research and tap into underdiscovered frequencies, okay? And you shouldn't be messing with that, okay? It's a very important job. And then they're just like, whoa, dude. Who are you? What is going on? And then he'll just be like, I am a researcher. Okay, my name is Ferris Tinkerson. And I'm researching weird frequencies. And don't appreciate you hacking my line. God, I fucking love him. He's adorable. Another NPC could be his boss. The person who sent the players down there. Oh, that's a cool idea. Maybe there is an NPC that is Tinkerson's boss who sent the original crew down there. That's not a bad idea. I feel like Ferris would be baby talked all the time by everyone. He absolutely would be. 1,000,000% would be. He'd be like, stop it! This is just my voice. I can't help it, okay? And I don't appreciate you making fun of my voice. Thanks. Oh my god. I'm thinking like a drill sergeant? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Maybe drill sergeant style? Okay, we can do that. Maybe drill sergeant style. I like this. I love the idea of like multiple voices coming in and like, who are you gonna trust? Who are you not gonna trust? It's definitely a good trope in like horror games. Like, do you trust them? Do you follow them? Whatever that one is where fucking Resident Evil, where he gets like into the family that like eats people and forces them to become a member of the family, and then there's like a voice on the radio that's like, I'm a police officer, I'm gonna get you out of here, and you're like, do I trust this bitch? I don't know if I trust this bitch. Homeboy's built like Captain America before he got upgraded. Resident Evil 7. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He really is. He really is. I'm even gonna put Captain America before he gets beefified. Beefified. He really is. Poor baby Ferris. Poor Ferris. Oh my goodness. And then he could probably like get his captain involved too. Whoa, that'd be funny. His boss is his dad. Oh my god. Wait, that's so funny. It's Tinkerson's dad. I love that. That's what I was gonna say, gal. Oh my god. That gives the players an opportunity then, because if the type of player that gets his call, if they're like, oh, don't tell Candela, then they're only working with Tinkerson. But if they're like, yeah, tell Candela we need like help and shit, then he's gonna tell his dad. And now his dad becomes the NPC that is like, oh my god, I sent you down there. You're supposed to be dead. Like, that would be interesting. If the player's Billy him, I'm gonna tell my dad. I love this. Oh my god, I'm gonna tell my dad. That's so funny. I love that. What's his dad's name then? Tinkerson's daddy. What is his daddy's name? His name has to be like something big and beepy. My dad can send you in a submarine and leave you in the sea. Oh no. Oh, that's so funny. Oh my god. Taurus. I like that. His name is Taurus Tinkerson. Oh no. Not Taurus Tinkerson. Maybe he just gets called Captain Taurus. Too late, he already did. Oh my god. Yeah, we're just gonna say, I'm gonna say Captain Taurus. Captain Taurus. Badass first name, shameful last name. His friends call him TT, but he don't got a lot of friends. I love that. Maybe called TT. No, TT's worse. Wait, TT is like titty. TT's worse. Because then you're calling him titty. Oh, this poor family. This poor family. Oh my god. This poor fucking family, I swear to God. Sergeant TT. Tars. Yeah, there you go. There you go. He got pecs. Oh, I love your little creature, Seven. Oh, your creature, your sea angel's so cute. Look at the squeeze in the face. Look at that with the little things. You know, one of the first things my player asked me was, will there be mermaids? And I was like, why do you want there to be mermaids? No, but what I said was, there aren't mermaids, but there are sirens. So please, do not go to the mermaids. That's their merman. Literally. That's what reminded me, is he looks like a little mermaid. He's cute. I love him. He's adorable. He's so cute. Oh. There should be one mermaid. They have a drawing of a mermaid. Oh my god. Oh my god. You know those, the calendars with like the sexy women on them? It's a calendar, but it's sexy mermaid women. And they only brought one with them, because they were only supposed to be down there 6 months. So it's from like 5 years ago, and they just keep using the same calendar. So they're fully off base on what day it actually is. Oh my god. I imagine his little frill mane would move like an axolotl's frills. Oh, I like that. That's cute. Pin-up mermaid, literally. Literally, it's a pin-up mermaid calendar. That's what it is. I'm writing that down. Hold on, that's vital information we need for this campaign. Pin-up mermaid calendar. Back from the original year that they left. And they just keep using it and thus, I'm going to say thus, are fully off base with what day it is. I love that. I love that. I wonder where they would be at day-wise. I want to do that math now. I'm not gonna. But it's interesting math to think if you didn't follow the calendar, like let's say the new year started, and you didn't follow the calendar for 5 years, or you followed 1 year's calendar for the next 4, how far off would you be on the actual date? I'm curious. I have an idea for the calendar. Oh, give it to me. You know what would be funny? If they're missing a month. Oh my god, they are missing a month from the calendar. I love that. I love that. Each day is ticked off multiple times over the years. 7, that's a really good idea. Each day has been ticked off multiple times for the years they've been using it. I love that. That's good. That's really good. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. The first month they were there was torn off and thrown out because they thought they wouldn't need it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's funny. Maybe first month they were there was torn out because they thought they didn't need it. I'm obsessed with the precious sea angel I've conjured. I need names. Timothy. Or maybe my brain is in the P territory. I don't know why. Pepper. Pogo. There you go. Squib. Squib is adorable. Angry bubble noises. Yeah, Squib is adorable. I like that as a name. Pebble. Boy, I really need to sneeze today. Woo, it's getting me strong today. Woo! Gotta bring in sunglasses. Jesus. Dang. Fish. Ah, thanks, Seven. Plep. Yeah, Fish Jeff. Plep. I love those. I love those a lot. I think both of those are good. If his name is just Fish Jeff. He gets excited when he meets human Jeff. Aww. That's so cute. I love that. He gets excited at human Jeff. Aww. 7, you keep him and you love him because he's too cute for my campaign. He's too cute for what I'm trying to do. I can't have something that adorable. Aww. I love him. He's adorable. Oh my goodness, he's so cute. Oh, We also want to do circle names. I totally didn't think about circle names at all, but you guys picked Circle of the Tipping Hourglass because we had that group of possible name options, and then I let them pick one. So I'll go to like Thesaurus and see what name options we can come up with. It's official. His name is Jeff purely because I need to draw him practically on his metaphorical knees to be friends with human Jeff. Oh, that's so cute. I feel like he would hide behind his fins when he's scared or embarrassed. You guys, he's adorable. Oh my god, I love him. You have created the cutest little baby. I love him. I love him very much. He is adorable. Oh my gosh. I like him. I like Jeff. I like Fish Jeff. I think Fish Jeff is cool. I think Fish Jeff is fun. I think he's cute and adorable. Yes, circle name. So it could be water themed, it could be isolation themed, it could be whatever we want, really. Let's see, I'm gonna look up the word isolation, because that's my big theme. I want to see if it gives me any hints. Ooh, the deepest marina is great. What the fuck was that? Oh, Thesaurus is trying to play me ads. Boo. I'ma throw shit and still it sticks? Oh, go for it. So, I don't pick it. What happens is you guys give me any suggestions you have, because this is what happened last time. You guys give me all your suggestions. I throw in a few, and then I give the list to those players, and they choose one. So, that's how the name got picked last time. That's how we'll do it this time. So, Circle of, Deepest Marina, Caverns of the Deep, Bait and Wish. Ooh, that's good. That's good. Gonna make Jeff in his teen young adult years just so I pull a, aw, look at the little baby. Now look at the big baby. I love that. I love that, Seven. That's so cute. That's adorable. And then people talk to him in the little baby voice and he's like, I am a big boy. I am a big boy. Ooh, Deepest Fears. I like that. Deepest Fears. Ooh. Circle of Solitude is cool. Solitude. I need to find voices for him. Yeah, good luck. Because he's so cute. Underwater Cage. I love that. That's excellent. Underwater Cage. What else do we have? Ooh. Exile, Retreat. Okay, I'm gonna put Exile, Retreat, Light's Trap. That's cool. That's cool. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Maybe like Lies and Truths. Lies and Truths. Pressure's Release is good. Silence, Circle of Silence. That's a good one. I want to look up, I'm going to go Thesaurus and put in Lie and see what we get. Voice from Below, love this. Voice from Below. Siren's Lure is good. I have the perfect voice, I swear, on everything FNAF related I own. Oh no. Oh no! 7, you found it that fast? Yeah. Yeah, Finn from Adventure Time works. Yes, it does. Yup. Yup, you got me there. That's his cute little voice. Oh, I love that. That's a good one. That's a good one. Let's see. Ooh, fabrication is cool. Fabrication. All of these are a little too blunt, I think, so let's see. We could go, they could go classic with it. Hopes and dreams. Wants and needs. Circle of hopes and dreams, circle of wants and needs. Lungs ache, I love this. These are great. The broken promise. Scale of pressure, good one. What else do we got? These are all like talking. It's not quite what I want. Okay, so what about like, if lie doesn't work, then what about like, maybe like trust, and then we go for the opposite of that? That could work. The hook's edge and the darkest lure. Ooh, okay. The hook's edge, the darkest lure. I like those. We gotta do a classic, like, Undertale thing. Determination. Darkest secret. Very nice. What could we throw in that maybe has the concept of how Angie has been waiting and planning and developing, like this secret or this idea or this, what are maybe adjectives that could imply something along those lines, where it's like the waiting game or something like that, or something about escaping maybe. Yeah, something about escaping or waiting maybe. That could work. Let's see. I'll try the word escape. Shallow mimicry is good. What else we got? Ooh. It's kind of the opposite of the campaign theme, which I don't mind. Flight and freedom. That's not bad. Hey, freedom's disguise. We're thinking the same way. Love that. What else do we got? AWOL, break, leave, release. Y'all thinking of circle names while I'm over here thinking about what season 3 could be? What do you have planned for season 3? You better tell me, 7. You better tell me. 'Cause come 2025, who knows what games we're running. I may or may not be looking into some Dagger Hunt. I think you know, Rachel. Oh, you mean the one-shot? Do you mean our beautiful... You made a promise to us? I did. The theater one-shot. The on-stage theater one-shot. The the lore that you guys have been creating. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. You guys have full reign over it. And I might pull on them a little bit, depending on what you want to do. But you're making a whole lore. The Skull Merchant. Ooh. Skull Merchant. I'm trying to look at, like, Escape to see if any of these work. We could also do things that are classic, like something with swimming. Maybe this is inspired by a book I remember reading and some bits from the show Kipo, but possibly a deep cave colony. Ooh, that's cool, Seven. Hi, Fox Daddy, welcome. How are you? We're talking about possible circle names for season 2. So if you have any ideas for a name, let me know. Is it low? Interesting. An interesting dilemma. I'm glad you're doing all right. I'm glad to hear it. A literal underground city. Okay, Seven, I'll put that on here. Hey, MM, how are you? Let's see. So underground, like cavern city. Underground cavern city. So I was looking at things for Escape because a lot of what this season's gonna be is like trying to get away, trying to escape. So, or something about like waiting, like a waiting game. Did we put the waiting game? Yeah, you did. That was Gals. Okay. So maybe like, what could we put? Okay, so I don't see any good ones for Escape. So what about like, if we can't do Escape, or that's not working, then we could do, oh, let me look up Deceit. Deceit's a cool word. That might work. That might be a cool one. Ooh, what is touching me? That's my headphones. Okay, that's fine then. I was like, oh, that needs to stop touching me immediately. Did we use Deceit yet? I don't think we've used Deceit yet, right? Let's see. Maybe... Ooh, cunning's a good word. It could be, what could it be? Cunning. Oh, we have so many circle names, but I like trying to create as many as possible so they have a lot of things. Or any concepts at all. If you guys think of anything, I'll put them in there. We're talking about pin-up mermaid calendars. We've created a few more NPCs. Oh, cunning mimicry. That's a good one. Thank you. Cunning mimicry. I like that. I like that a lot. That's cool. Oh, if we were doing like D&D style, I just came across the word artifice. That's cool. Ooh, at wit's depth is cool. Yeah, things using depth might be cool. What are things using depth? Depth. The deep depths? Okay, I got you. Deep depths. Kiss of depth? Oh, that's cool. That might just have to be an episode name, let alone the circle name. I really do like that though. That's cool. That might have to be an episode name. Yeah, that might have to become an episode name. That's pretty good. Alright, let me go back to Gyat? Nah, there ain't gonna be no gyat in there. I feel like that would be hard. I mean, I guess they could stick out their gyat for the Rizzler in the bottom of the ocean if they wanted to. They could if they wanted to. It's not like it's not unachievable. It's entirely possible, right? So, fair enough, I guess. Let me type in, like, ocean. Maybe we go classic, like, ocean vibes. That sentence hurt me physically. I can make it worse. You want me to make it worse? Ready? Ready? I'll make it worse. Ready? Sticking out your gyat for the Rizzler with that Ohio fuzz. You're so skibbity. I am not ashamed. I hope I just made you, like, fucking throw up. Oh my god, I love that so much. Oh my lord, that's funny. Stop before I disintegrate? You mean you haven't already? We could always try. Pain? Not very cash money of you, Rachel. Fox Daddy, you're a little behind the times. We don't say cash money no more. Do I need to say it again? Oh my lord, yo. I'm copywriting A Kiss of Death. Do you need to pay me money to use it? Well, cross that off my list. It's the add insult to injury, I guess. Oh, that's a great name. Circle of Insult and Injury? That is not for this group, I don't think, but I fucking love that name. That's like the name of a group that is made up entirely of soldiers. Insult and Injury, like sarcastic soldiers. That is that. That is that. Well, now I won't be your... What is that word? I won't be your buddy? What is that word? I don't know what that word means. Insult, water, and injury? Oh, I hate that pun. Oh, that pun is so funny. Oh my god. Insult, water, and injury. Actually, saltwater is not a bad name. Circle of Saltwater? That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I put in ocean. Let's see what it gives me. Let's see what it gives me. Tide and Bone is a Critical Role one. So we can't use Tide and Bone. No copyright. That reminds me of the time I saw a 5-year-old in a supermarket that passed by us singing the Skibbity song. And then in the same grocery trip, my roomie was given a spicy anime sticker by the cashier. Okay, but those are two very separate incidents. The 5-year-old is allowed to sing Skibbity if he wants to. Leave him alone. And the cashier should not theoretically be giving you a spicy anime sticker. That's a little weird. You're so funny? Thank you, Malaysia. I appreciate that. You know, it's just life. Sometimes this is just how we're built. I don't try to be, but I appreciate you. Hard life at low tide. Oh my, wait, Circle of Low Tide. That's a good one. Low tide's not bad. We can't use Tide and Bone because it's copyrighted, but low tide's not bad. I know, but it was in the same store, not even an hour apart. That's so funny. Wait, 7. What if handing out spicy anime stickers is like the new giving somebody your phone number? Like, you know how back in the day they were like, yo, can I get your number? Right? And they're like, okay. But now they're just like, I hand you the old hey gal. Oh, it's probably not how it's pronounced, but still. Anime sticker to indicate you should find me after work. You know what I mean? Ripped Current. Ooh, I'm going to put Riptide too. Rip Current and Circle of Riptide. Circle of the Riptide. That's a pretty cool one too. Oh, or like not wave pool. But what do they call them? What are the big water things that like drag you down in them and they spin? We're all penguins giving out rocks. I love that. Let me see your sticker. Do you got a spicy anime sticker for me? Is it a whirlpool? Wait, is it actually? I'll sticker your bumper. Gal, get out of here with that filthy mouth. What are you doing? Is it actually a whirlpool? Is that what they're called? What are the big water circles that pull people in? I gave you my sticker. Please respond. Squirrel pool? That'd be hysterical. I can imagine a bunch of squirrels are like, and they're like spinning in circles. I'm not gonna do it with this. I'm attached. And then they're just like, fall into our hole. And then you just fall in, you go straight to hell. You can't get rid of me? I don't want to, gal. I never want to get rid of you. You're fabulous. Are they actually called whirlpools? I really thought they were called something else. Am I crazy? What is a whirlpool? What is a whirlpool? I had a dream about this? Oh no. They are called that! Oh, vortex is the proper term for a whirlpool that has a downdraft. More powerful ones formed in seas or oceans may be called maelstroms. Okay, alright, I'm gonna put, so circle of the whirlpool is fine. I'm also gonna put maelstrom because that's a fire name. That is a fire name to be called. And then vortex as well. Ooh, spinning vortex? That's a cool name. That's like a superhero name. Circle of the spinning vortex. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like that. Ooh, circle of the endless void. Ooh, that's more of like a space. Sinking vortex is good too. Sinking vortex. Of the sinking vortex. Ooh, I'm gonna put sinking vortex and I'm gonna put sinking ship. Sinking ship. That's good too. The endless void is a little space themed rather than ocean themed. Wow, I really didn't spell whirlpool right, proceeded to continue not to spell it right. That's crazy. Even when I tried to replace it. That is wild. Okay. So we have whirlpool. We have vortex. Circle of the sea and sand. Sea and sand, maybe. Circle of... Maybe I wouldn't even put the... I would just put circle of sea and sand. Spinning vortex high tide. And then insert a badass Avengers type assembly. No, Seven, that line sounds like what I write for my voice acting workshops. Like, that sounds like something where you come into the booth and you go... Okay, so we need a, we just need you to say this line here. This is like when they use their special ability in the video game. They run up their meter and then they say this line. So could you just say that for us? That feels like spinning vortex high tide. And then they shoot out like the power. That is what that feels like. That is definitely what that feels like. Oh my lord. See, okay, so we have brine. We have, we did deep. Oh, the hiccups are here. Oh, you know what? What about something classic like circle of the blue? That could mean a lot of things. The briny depths. That's good. The briny depths. The Johnny Depps. The sea biscuits. I swear to God. If I put the sea biscuits as an option for my players in my horror game to choose for their name, and they choose it, I am blaming you, gal, for suggesting that. I swear to God, if in my horror game they choose to be called the Sea Biscuits, oh my lord in heaven, yo. The evil Sea Biscuits. Good job. Good job. Good job. Do it, coward! Oh my lord, Jesus. I'll put it on there. I'll put it on there, but oh my lord, bro. Check your DMs. Okay, give me a second. Have you seen my jar of dirt? Fucking Johnny Depp, man. That's wild. What do you like watching? Malaysia, I am an anime person. I love anime. I'm a horror person. I like horror. If we go the anime route, I'm a Death Note, Dead Man Wonderland, Blue Exorcist, trying to think of other ones, A Delicious in Dungeon, My Happy Marriage, that kind of stuff. I love that kind of jazz. If we go horror, I'm mostly more like horror video games than horror shows. But the few horror shows that I would say is Midnight Mass is my jam. I love Midnight Mass. Thought it was excellent. Of course, The Haunting of Bly Manor and Hill House and all that jazz. That stuff's cool. What do you like? What are you into, Malaysia? What you watch? What you play? Tell me. I love to hear it. We're just building our horror campaign, so you're more than welcome to chat. If you wanna. No pressure. Circle of the High Seas might be cool. Although it would be a little misleading because they're at the bottom of the ocean, not at the top. Oh my god. Oh my god. Circle of Davy Jones's locker. I hope they don't pick that. I will fucking scream. Circle of Davy Jones locker. The Low Seas. Okay, gal. Okay. I'll put it down, but I hate it. Crashing Waves. Crashing Waves isn't bad. Crashing Waves isn't bad. Yeah, I put JV Dones. Get out of here. Ooh, Split Atlantic. Split Atlantic. The ocean is split in this universe. There's a huge ass split, like Moses parting the Red Seas. So we could do something like that. Nothing really, but I like anime. What kind of anime do you like? What stuff have you seen? I'm very interested. I watch quite a bit. Some I don't. It just kind of varies, I think. But I'd love to know what you're into. Maybe I've seen it. Maybe I haven't. Oh, the Cavernous Sea. Ooh. Cavernous Sea. What about something like Hungry? Because the ocean kind of eats them up. And Angie has been devouring people as they come down in the ocean. So what about like... Ooh, I don't know. Let me go to Thesaurus. Hungry. Oops, that's not a word. Hungry. Maybe like the Ravenous Waters or something. Ravenous Waters. Or it could be... Ooh, what about Starved? Because, like, she keeps, like, people coming and they're dying. So she's, like, starving for, you know, that kind of thing. Circle of the Starved. Starved what? Starved. Depraved Siren is good. Depraved Siren, I like that. And Ravenous Caverns. The Ravenous Caverns. The Depraved Siren. Pacific Hunger. Interesting. Okay, let me put that down. Depraved Siren. Pacific Hunger. The Starved... I don't know, Starved Waters or something. What else could we do? Maybe like... Oh, I just had something. Shoot. So, she's starved, she's luring people in. Watery Cravings, that's one. Watery Cravings. She's starved. She's luring people in. She's trying to keep them there. She also wants to break free. She's also trying to get out. So, maybe like Crumbling Fortress. Of the Crumbling Fortress. Or, Maybe the Rotting Sea. The Rotting Sea. Oh, My Hero Academia. I've not watched My Hero Academia, but I've seen a couple of clips from it and stuff, and it seems like a pretty good show. I like the concept where it's like kind of like superhero school. That's pretty cool concept, and I know people are really into the characters. Well, that's cool, Malaysia. I'm glad you enjoy that. You'll have to let me know how it goes, if it stays good, like, you know, favorite characters, things like that. I'm always interested to hear more. Oh, malnourished Marines. Ooh. Malnourished Marines. Interesting. I'm gonna look up rotting, because I really like that word, so let's see what else is. Ooh, the greedy ghost, maybe? Or greedy ghosts might be cool. Circle of greedy ghosts. That might feel a little Scooby-Doo, but let's see. Okay, so I looked up rotting. Ooh, there's not a lot of words for that. Crumbling. Decomposing. Yeah, there's not a lot of words there. Ooh, Forgotten Explorers. I like that. That's cool. Decaying Light is good. Decaying Light's very good. Boy, they're gonna have so many to choose from. Oh my lord. Let's look at ones that are like metaphorical or emotional. Let's see if we can throw in a few of those. So like maybe, should we stop? Nah, listen. We got only 9 minutes left of stream. Unless there's something else you want to do, I'm gonna continue. Forbidden Depths, I like that. I think we should throw in some like mental or emotional things, like maybe dealing with faith or trust or hope or despair. The Darkness Revealed is good. The Darkness Revealed. Saying hope and despair back to back make me think Danganronpa. I'm gonna type in hope and see what I get here. Ooh, expectation or expect maybe. Ooh, Stages of Insanity is cool. Stages of Insanity. Ooh, Lonely Ocean is good. Lonely Ocean is good. Ooh, Anticipation. So, ambition, anticipation, belief, desire, faith, wish, prospect, expectation. Forgotten Friend, that's cool. The Forgotten Friend. Anguished Hope. Ooh. That's a good one. Lost Faith. Yup, I like that. I like those. Yeah, I want to throw in some of these so that they have options for like more mental or emotional one. Ooh. Promised Land. That might be cool. Circle of the Promised Land. Broken Chains is good. Circle of Ooh, Dying Hope and Drowned Agony. That's good. Dying Hope, Drowned Agony. Both of those are good. Damn, you guys. Damn. Yeah, that's a very good one. I like Drowned Agony. I like that. What about the word purpose? I like the word purpose. Maybe like, ooh, abandoned light. Okay. Abandoned light. Shattered purpose. That's a great adjective. Shattered purpose. Submerged works too. Submerged purpose. Silence of lies. Ooh. The subs. Not the subs. Not the subs. Oh my goodness. Not the subs. I know we're freezing a little bit here. I can see it happening. It's trying its best to load. Oh, what was the word I just had? Shoot. Waterlogged dreams. Ooh. Waterlogged dreams. You know what would be horrifying if they saw on this list? Circle of the Soul Survivor. They'd be like, excuse me? What does that mean? They're like, what do you mean? I'm gonna put it on the list just to make them upset. Ooh, the last of them. Yes. That's cool. I like that. Oh, maybe the Last Hope? Circle of the Last Hope? The Last Hope? The Last Air Container. It's the last airbender. Oh, that's funny. Seaway Grief. Oh my god. Yo, that's wild. Ooh, Final Breath is good. Final Breath. This one doesn't quite apply, but Memories and Moments just came to my head, so we're gonna put that down. The last one, swimming. Ooh. The last one, swimming. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Oh, that's not bad. Let me put swim into the thesaurus and see what it has to say. Swim. What do we think of the word swim? Ooh. The word float or dive could work. Circle of diving hopes. I'll put it down, why not? Scurvy. That's it, that's the name. Circle of Scurvy. Circle of Scurvy. Oh my lord. Yeah, because it's... I like the word... Ooh, filled lung is good. Filled lung is good. Filled lung is good. Let me see. What else could it be called? I liked the idea of not skinny dip being in here. Oh my god. That's so funny. What else could be a part of it? The lung thing is cool. And like losing air is cool. I'll put in depth because maybe we can get something else for ocean or water. Oh, I guess I gotta put in depths with an S to get the right one. Ooh, grasp of air is good. Grasp of air. Deep end. That's funny. That, again, that might end up being an episode name instead of the circle name. The deep end. Oh, the bowels. Ooh, what about the corrupted core? Corrupted core. I still want it to be sea biscuits. If they pick sea biscuits, I will be upset. Just for the record. Uncharted Abyssal. Ooh. Uncharted Abyssal and Divided Journey. Yeah, that's gonna be accurate. They are not gonna be trusting each other. There's... You're gonna show up at my house? I will. I will if they choose sea biscuits. There's Gulch. Gulch is an interesting word. And Chasm. And Breach. Gulch, Chasm, Breach. I'm gonna get a very strongly worded DM. How dare you suggest this? I am trying to be serious and take it seriously in this market. Hello, Amelia. How are you? How are you? What's up? How's life? We are just due on the tail end of thinking of cool names for our horror show. The Serious String. There is no Serious String in my horror show. Okay? No Silly String knockoffs. I kind of just like Circle of the Breach. Or the Breached Hull, maybe? And then there's Aqua Oriole Nightmare. Oh my lord. Oh, what about just Rock Bottom? Damn you ads. Well, I gotta wait until 7 can come back before I can leave. So we'll go for a little bit. Circle of the Rock Bottom. Circle of the Gulch would be good too. You're back already, 7? Alright, then I'm probably gonna head out here, I think. Yeah, I think I'm gonna head out because I want some chicken nuggies. And I need some sleep. Alright, friends, let's see who we are raiding tonight. It was just the ones you get when you join a stream thing. Oh, okay, good. Oh, that's because I forgot to turn them on for this stream. Oh, well. Because I turned them off for our well, somewhat turned them off. You can't, it tells me you can't turn them off. But as far as I understand, they seem turned off for our episodes on Saturday. I don't know. I do not know if it actually works or not. So, who are we raiding tonight? Ooh! Peachy Pity Party is playing the Outlast Trials. And y'all know how much I like Outlast. So we're gonna try and raid them. They seem cool. Peachy Pity Party. Yeah, sorry, Malaysia. It is late for me, so I am headed out. I appreciate you stopping by, though. I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. So feel free to join us anytime. Love to have you in chat talking. But have a good night, okay? Or a good day for wherever you're at. My Twitch people, we're gonna raid this lovely streamer who is playing the Outlast Trials, which is like the new multiplayer version of Outlast. Throw a bunch of lemons in the chat. I love you, and I'll see you Wednesday. Goodbye!